Welcome back to the DragonCruiser from Shanghai, China.
Imagine children every single school day climbing rickety ladders up sheer cliffs. Just imagine that. This wasn't ancient history. This was life in China's cliff village until pretty recently. A way of life that lasted, believe it or not, for 200 years.
That's right. We're talking about a two-layer village, home to the Yi ethnic group, nestled way up in China's southwestern mountains.
And those ladders.
Just flimsy vine ladders, basically. That was it. Their only connection to the world below. Just incredible isolation and, well, daily danger.
It's staggering. And this went on for centuries, largely unnoticed, until 2016. Suddenly photos emerge, they go viral, and the world is just shocked.
Yeah, completely shocked.
So today we're going deep. We'll unpack the huge transformation that happened next, but also look at some maybe lingering questions too.
Absolutely, because when those photos hit the internet, the reaction was, well, intense, disbelief, mostly.
You'd expect that.
Right. And people started asking questions, how could this happen in modern China, especially given its reputation as this infrastructure king?
That's a good point. The contrast must have been stark.
It really was. And sources mention questions popping up about, like, resource allocation. Is money going overseas when there are needs like this at home? We're just reporting those questions impartially, of course. It reflects what people were discussing.
So this massive global outcry happens online. What was the immediate effect? How did the government react?
Swiftly. Really swiftly. The sources are clear on that. By late 2016, just months after the story broke.
Monks, wow.
Yeah. They'd built this huge steel staircase, 2,556 steps, replacing those dangerous vine ladders. Made a massive difference to safety right away, especially for the kids going to school.
Okay, so the steel ladder solved the immediate danger.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the end of the story, was it?
No, not at all. That was just phase one, sort of. Fast forward to 2020, and they took an even bigger step, a full relocation project.
Relocation, so moving everyone out.
Pretty much. Families moved from their traditional cliff homes down into modern apartments in a nearby town.
And the outcomes?
Well, presented as overwhelmingly positive. Kids in proper schools without that terrifying climb. Families with better housing, access to healthcare, job opportunities. It's framed as a real example of lifting a rural community out of poverty and, again, showcasing China's infrastructure capability.
It does sound like a remarkable turnaround.
Right,
but
yeah.
What happened to the village itself? The place on the cliffs?
Yeah.
Did it just get abandoned?
Actually, no. And this is another fascinating turn. Cliff Village itself has become quite the tourist destination.
Really? Tourism?
Yeah. Think about it. Dramatic cliffs. Apparently there are hot springs. And that steel ladder, it's actually a Guinness World Record holder now.
No kidding. A world record.
Yep. So it's attracting visitors. It's sort of presented as this win-win-win situation. Good for the relocated villagers who might benefit somehow. Good for the government's image and development goals. And obviously good for tourism companies. A real testament to collective action, spurred by that initial outcry.
It's definitely an inspiring story on the surface. Rapid change, poverty reduction. It ticks a lot of boxes. But as we often find in these deep dives, are there maybe some nuances, things that aren't quite so crystal clear?
That's always worth asking, isn't it? And the sources we looked at do raise a few specific points, some lingering questions that add, let's say, texture to the narrative.
Yeah, like what?
Well, for one, the speed of the relocation. It happened pretty fast, and it seems undeniably linked to the village becoming famous as a potential tourist spot.
Okay.
So questions arise, like, did the villagers have a completely free choice in leaving their ancestral home? Was there pressure, perhaps subtle, tied to the tourism potential?
Right. That makes sense to ask.
And then there's the tourism revenue itself. It's apparently booming. But are the original villagers, the ones who lived that hard life, are they actually getting a fair share of those profits? That's another question raised.
In the timing.
Exactly, the sort of elephant in the room question. Why did it take a viral story, global attention, to fix a problem that had existed for 200 years in a country known for massive infrastructure projects? Why wasn't it addressed sooner through normal development channels? The sources suggest that just a bit more transparency around these aspects, the consent, the profit sharing, the trigger for action, would make this already inspiring story even more powerful, build more trust.
So Cliff Village's journey is, well, it's undeniably triumph in many ways, from those perilous climbs to a new future. It really shows what can happen when global attention meets determined action. And it highlights how external focus can sometimes drive internal change.
It absolutely does. And that leaves us and you with something to think about. This unique mix, viral fame, government action, tourism transformation. Can this specific model work elsewhere? Could it inspire similar changes globally? Or was Cliff Village just a very unique set of circumstances? What do you think?